Welcome, everyone. This is Kelly McGowan, your host with Growing the Ozarks, and thank you for joining us today. Today, our guest is Richard Herman, and he is with the Springfield Plateau Master Naturalist. Richard, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, we're happy to have you. And today we're going to talk about bumblebees. And, you know, whenever I do a class on insects, I always tell people not all insects are bad. As a matter of fact, 99% of insects are good. They are beneficial. They're pollinators. And this is one of those instances. And a lot of times we hear a lot about honeybees, and they get a lot of attention. But bumblebees are also interesting. They're an important native species. So can you tell us a little bit about bumblebees and a little bit about their life cycle?
Yeah, so there are some similarities with the honeybee, but the bumblebee queen just lives for 1 year, and the honeybee can live for multiple years. So if we start in the spring, the bumblebee comes out. Usually in this area, it's around April, and she gets some pollen and some nectar. She goes back to her colony where she's found, and she sets up a little pot with these goodies in it, and she lays some eggs, and then she sits on those eggs kind of like a chicken would and keeps them warm, and then they'll develop into her workers. And then these workers go out, and then they become the foragers for her, and then she just stays in this colony that she has. And then towards the fall, then she changes things a little bit, and then she starts developing eggs that will develop into next year's queens, and also the males, which are the drones. And so then the queens get fertilized, and then they find a place for their winter hideout. And then April comes around and it starts the cycle again.
Okay, all right. Well, very good. So there are different types of bumblebees. So any tips on kind of identifying some of the different types?
Yeah. Historically, Missouri started out with 11 different types of bumblebees. And currently, we have about 3 that are pretty common now. And the other 8 are kind of having a hard time. But the 3 that's pretty common, you have the brown-belted bumblebee, and you have the common eastern, and you have the two-spotted. And then some of the others that aren't quite as common, you would have the half-black bumblebee, you've got the yellow bumblebee, and the Southern Plains bumblebee, and the black and gold, and the American, and the variable cuckoo, and the lemon cuckoo. And I might just pause with the cuckoos, because they kind of have a little bit different title to them. If a bumblebee has a cuckoo title to them, what they'll do is they will find another bumblebee's nest, kill the queen, and take over that nest, and they lay their own eggs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, kind of like a cowbird might do. And then there's one more, and that's the rusty patch. And we haven't seen the rusty patch in Missouri since 1998, so we're not too sure that they're still around.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I know with the rusty patch bumblebee, there's been a lot of news stories about that, and that's just a good example of, you know, these bees are so small, and we don't even notice that they may be going extinct, and we don't even know. So it's important to keep an eye on what's going on out there. And one way people can help is through citizen science projects, such as the Bumblebee Atlas. And can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so the Bumblebee Atlas, it got started through an international organization called Xerces. Kind of a strange word. It's spelled Xerces. And the Xerces Society is a society that provides conservation for the insects. And what they've done is they have paired up with states. So like, for example, Missouri, they've paired up with the Missouri Department of Conservation and also with the University of Missouri Columbia Natural Resources. And from that, then they formed the Missouri Bumblebee Atlas and the Missouri Bumblebee Watch. And the difference between the Atlas and the Watch, if if you want to find out information about becoming a citizen science and you want to know what more there is involved, you go to the Atlas. And then the watch, the Missouri Bumblebee Watch, that one then requires a password. And that's where I go to when I've done a survey and I want to enter my data.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. So it's a good way to kind of report what species you're seeing in an area. So, Richard, thank you for joining us today. You can find this episode wherever you get your podcasts. And thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.